welcome, welcome. Really good to see everyone tonight. I'm so appreciating you taking time out of your evening or your day, whatever it is where you're living, to be with us. And I'm super excited about tonight's call. I feel like there's going to be some energy moving. That's my story. We'll check in at the end to see if my story is true. So my name is Michelle Yasuda, and I'm the program director for the Foundation for Conscious Living's Big Leap Home online programs. And these programs support organizations, individuals, and communities in generating agency, connection, and creativity on our shared planet. And so this call that you're on right now is part of what we do. We come together to play with Hendrix practices so that we can grow and learn as a community together. Let's see if there's any other logistics. Oh, I would like to welcome you or invite you to our Big Leap Home Network, which is an online gathering space for the Hendrix Institute and the Foundation for Conscious Living. And so we come together there. It's totally free to join, and you'll hear about all kinds of classes, and you'll see different practices being offered on there. So it's really fun. What I love about it is that there's no ads and it's just us. And so it's really, I don't get distracted and go down rabbit holes when I go and check my circles on there. So I will put a link in the chat after I am complete with my introduction so that you can join us. So now I'm really excited to be almost turning the call over to Dhira and Kristina. And before I do that, I want to appreciate the two of you together, because there's something so magical about the two of you coming together and playing together. And I just got a little preview and a little behind the scenes of the kind of energy that the two of you create together. And I really appreciate your ability to have fun no matter what, to bring it's like, I don't know, it's not like you don't have stuff going on in your lives, right? Stuff goes on and you play with it. And that's what I really love, is the invitation that we can all do this. We can all play with whatever's happening in our life. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the call over to you. And thank you for being with us tonight.
Thanks, Michelle. Dhira, do you want to invite them into our secret sound beginning?
Yeah, so Kristina and I totally have this super secret handshake, but since we're on Zoom, it's a super secret sound. And we are going to do it, and you can just join right in, whatever comes out, whatever, however you want to join in. So on the count of three, we're going to make a sound. 1, 2, 3. Woo!
You're in the secret society now of people who love to play with Make It Bigger. And you're right, Michelle, we do have stuff going on in our lives. Dhira tore her Achilles tendon last month, and I've had COVID for the past 3 weeks, but I'm recovering. And so I'm really grateful to have energy tonight to be with you all. And basically, Dhira and I, for the past 2 or 3 years, have been playing weekly on Zoom with Make It Bigger. Every time we have a planning meeting for our group that we co-lead, something's going on in our lives that we play with making it bigger. And quite often, it's something serious or some way that we're approaching a relationship in a serious way. And I'm sure none of you do that, right? No. So we wanted to start by asking you all to consider, how do you organize yourself to show up seriously in one of your relationships? It might be a love relationship, it might be with a parent or with a kid or with a coworker, but there's definitely some relationship where you aren't having as much fun as you want to be having because you're both being overly serious. So I invite you right now to exaggerate your facial expression and your posture when you're in that serious way of relating. Oh, yes. I see a lot going on with the lips and the eyes. I'm wondering, oh yes, and the chin. Yes. Do that more. Whatever it is that you're doing, do it even more. Make it bigger. All right, now ask your serious creator, what's the most important thing to you? When you're in this, and bodify that, make that bigger with your whole body. What's most important to you when you're being serious? Yeah, you might have to stand up. Harry's standing up to do this. I see some hand gestures getting in on the action here. Yes. Yes. Now give this aspect of you a seriously silly name. So it's kind of like an affectionate nickname that you could call yourself when you're in this serious place. And when you got that name, come and write it in the chat. Yes, we've got the bulldozer, the connector. Oh, yeah, I can relate to that, the serious connector. Sometimes a silly name can be a name that has like a rhyme or it starts with the same letter on the same words. Like I love Dhira's constipated controller, the tired of fighting telegram, the victim vibraldo, Mr. This is serious, albatross Alfred. I love these. Great. Great. You're already in the spirit of this.
That's wonderful.
I have a no Russian Ruthie who freezes up whenever somebody tries to get me on their timeline when I've got my own timeline that's different than that. And then I blame them for making me feel that way.
Oh no, yes. Sarah's.
Boopaloo. These are great names.
These are great. Wonderful. Wonderful. So thanks for jumping in the pool already with us. You are well on your way to persona play, which is what we are here for tonight. And personas are ways of being or roles that we generally learned when we were really young to get attention or avoid stress. So like when you're actually in persona, you may have noticed it's kind of difficult to identify them. It's kind of difficult because you're in them, right? I'm in them. I'm being this. I'm encompassed by this attitude. So good luck trying to talk your way out of a persona or convince yourself that you shouldn't be in it right now. But what we can do is we can get a play buddy to help and listen to us and engage us. Somebody that loves to magnify, bring these things out so they can be seen and recognized and played with. So I'm going to re-invite you to magnify that persona that you just were doing. So I can see it one more time. You can experience it in your body again. So go ahead. Go ahead and do that. Great. Great. So, Sarah, I feel particularly drawn to your serious persona right now. And I'm wondering, Sarah, if you would be willing, or if your persona would be willing to do a demonstration of a persona interview with me. Go ahead and ask your persona if they would be willing to be interviewed. And if they get a no, that's fine.
Oh, edgy, scary.
Mhm. Yeah. Is that a no or a yes?
It's a oh no, oh yes.
Oh. Perfect. All right. All right. So that's a yes. I'll go with yes.
It's in caps, so I guess so.
You're willing? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. So yeah, so go ahead and whatever, go ahead and get into that persona again. So whatever helps you get into that persona. Yeah. Magnify that. Yeah. Facial expression in the hand position. Yeah. Thinking any thoughts that this persona thinks, think them really hard and more. Yeah. And I just want to remind you that your job, Sarah, is as a persona is to simply blurt out the first answer that comes to you, comes to mind. Don't hold it in, you just want to blurt it out. And I'm going to ask you a few questions. So first of all, could you tell me your name again?
Oh no, yes.
Great. And oh no, yes. What's the most important thing to you?
Oh, having fun.
Great. And oh no, yes. What are you most proud of?
Oh, opposites.
Opposites? Yeah. And oh no, yes. When did you make your first appearance?
Ooh. Ooh. Probably 4.5.
Oh no, yes. What are you most afraid of? Oh no, yes. Who did you learn your style from?
The big bad wolf. Scary.
Yeah. And oh no, yes. What are you most afraid of?
Ooh. Going down a black hole.
Yeah.
Going down a black hole.
Black hole. Yeah. And oh no, yes. What do you most want?
Freedom to fly.
To fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Oh no, yes. Now, go ahead and step out of oh no, yes, Sarah. Yeah. Do whatever movement, sound. Go ahead and step back into your wholeness. Thank you so much for being willing to do that with me. So that is, we are going to be doing that with your serious personas in breakout rooms. If you do not want to go into a breakout room with a partner and do a persona interview, please send a private message to Michelle right now. But we're going to go into pairs for the next 8 minutes. And I believe, did you already put that in the chat, Kristina?
I'm working on it.
All right, so we're going to put those questions. There's just 6 questions. we invite you to ask the questions as they're written. You notice how I used the persona's name. So you're directing your questions to the persona. And when you start, exaggerate, magnify, get into that persona before you start asking those questions. But we're going to send you in, hopefully right in persona, and you're just going to go right to it. So just to recap, it's going to be eight minutes. You're going to switch halfway through the 8 minutes. So you've got 4 minutes. You're going to quickly decide who goes first. Maybe no sound, just hand gestures. You can decide who goes first. And then the person who's exploring first is going to be in their persona and being asked these questions. And then you're going to swap and do the other person's persona.
And be sure to take this very seriously.
I know I have my, okay, did I explain the instructions well enough that everybody will get it? Persona on, my teacher persona. So yeah, and any quick questions before we go in?
The questions will be in the chat, will they?
Yes, there's a PDF in the chat. If you open the PDF, the questions are on that. Great. Yes, it's okay not to join. Just stay in the main room and one of us will be there with you.
All right, so how are we doing on breakout rooms, Michelle?
Looks like everybody's all right.
Great.
All right.
Welcome back. Did you remember to take a big step out of your persona at the end of your interview? Yeah. Good.
Yeah, I can see some fear melters happening here. Yeah, so, one of the major complaints in relationship counseling that counselors hear is that people say, this relationship is not any fun anymore. It's, you're too serious. You don't know how to play. There's a lot of blame that goes on around the issue of fun. So we wanted to give you some more ideas about how to get out of serious and into fun by magnifying and playing with personas in relationship. So the very best way to play with personas is to play with someone who's curious about you and willing to listen to you and watch your body and reflect and tell you what they hear and what they see that's maybe surprising to you. And people who are willing to interrupt you and invite you to go farther with what you're already doing, because that's the way to, when you make it bigger, the persona becomes even clearer and more fun to play with. So I'm going to share the screen here. And can we see that, Dhira?
Yeah, I can. Yes, I can see it. Thumbs up if you can see that. So it looks good. So we created this handout to help you and whoever you're playing with to help you know what to look for in each other's body language so that you can look and listen for these things that indicate that a persona might be at play, might be running the show. And you can see the list at the top, but tone of voice. So, I could even call them out as I'm doing. This is my teacher tone of voice, where I kind of type not nice and soft. I have different tones of voices, right? But there's a little bit to that, right? And I could interview my teacher persona. Emphasize repeated words, so repeating words over and over or saying them. Posture, gestures, hand gestures, extremities, particularly looking in different directions or not looking or waving your hands. slumping your shoulders, what's moving and what's not moving. So that's always a great thing to pay attention to, not just what's moving, but what's really still or frozen. Facial expressions, of course, we played a lot with those with our serious persona, and breathing changes. So holding breath, sighing is a great one.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so when you notice something that's interesting, something that catches your curious attention, right? You can toss your partner these invitations that we have on the second half of the page, and an invitation to magnify or make that bigger. And it's really about going with, Kristina said, it's really about going with what's happening so you can discover something new. And so some of these are like just saying, wait, what just happened, when you notice something pop up as a in their body language or tone of voice, or make that bigger. Or if your hands or feet or eyebrows could talk, what would they say? And what would add more fun to this? Like I've had personas that seem like they're kind of zombie-ish. And so why not go all the way with that and be the zombie, or get a prop to make it more fun? And one of my favorites is, what aren't you letting get bigger? So essentially, I'm resisting something that wants to bubble up and be discovered. And when I tune into, oh, what am I resisting, or what am I not letting come forth to be played with and magnified, that's when I usually get the juiciest discovery and opportunity.
And these are potent invitations. So you don't want to spring a whole bunch of them on somebody all at once. You just want to ask maybe one, maybe two at the most, and then pause and leave some space for your partner to really take in the invitation and get curious about what's going on inside themselves and share with you. So, you can imagine what this couple might say to each other. Like, what just happened with your hands? What? Or could you cross anything else besides your arms and knees? Your ankles, your hands, asking people to exaggerate what's already going on is what you want to play with.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you get into a conversation that invites you to ask these kinds of questions? And so we have a short list of persona revealing questions that you can ask that are pretty sure to bring up some personas. And we're going to invite you into a breakout room shortly to ask your partner one of these questions and watch what happens when they start to talk and you say, tell me more about that. Then you'll get to watch for all those clues, things that are going on with their tone of voice, repeated words, things changing in their posture, gestures, things that you can ask people to make bigger. So we're going to demonstrate how to do this. Dhira, are you game for me asking you a persona revealing question?
Yes.
All right. Let's see. Which one do I want to pick here? Oh, I like this one. Dhira, what's happened to you 3 or more times lately?
What's happened 3 or more times lately? Oh, I feel on the spot. I feel on the spot about this question.
Pull your chin back more.
I'm like, oh, something should be coming to me, and oh no, it's not. And I'm like supposed to be doing this demonstration. So
Oh, that's perfect. So you know what, honey? You get to request another question.
Oh, but I'm kind of curious about this too.
You are? Okay. So let yourself go even farther back with your chin.
Oh, Gosh, I'm usually so good at this, and I've been stumped. Like, that's so unusual. I don't even know what to do. Yeah.
Do that more with your eyes.
Yeah.
And that funny little giggle, can you
Very nervous. Yes, yes. Here you go.
yeah. What would you like to be called?
Um, uh, oops. Oops.
Oops!
Oops.
Oops!
Oops. Oops.
Oops! Yeah. All right, so you can take a breath and relax and move your body in any way you want to move your body.
I have never met her before.
We have just discovered a persona of Dhira's named Oops that she never met before. And we could have a lot of fun interviewing this persona, but we're going to stop right there because this is what we want to invite you to do. We want to invite you to ask your partner a persona revealing question. Watch for invitations to have them make something bigger, and then invite them to tell you what that persona wants to be called. So you're basically going to explore, discover, magnify, and name a persona. And then you're going to switch partners. Any questions?
There's a couple questions in the chat, and also
Okay.
I'll take a stab at it, and
Okay.
maybe you could put the handout in the chat.
Put the handout. I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to put the handout in the chat.
So Carolyn asked, wouldn't that be triggering if you notice a persona in your spouse and you point it out? Yes, it would. If you do not have an agreement with another person and you start calling out body language, it could be very triggering. So it's great to have made an agreement before you start to play. In any situation, it's a good idea to have some sort of agreement. And if you don't have an agreement with your spouse, or if you're just new to this, we encourage you to, again, find somebody that is really curious and supportive to practice first. And as you get better at it, you will get good at noticing your own personas. So even if your spouse or partner never makes that agreement, you'll start to notice your own, and then you can go and you can interview them later, or you can, ask your partner. Maybe they're willing to interview you, but they're not willing to be interviewed. So do you want to add anything to that, Kristina?
No, I think that's great.
Yeah. And we are, I'm assuming you'll find a new persona, Elizabeth, based on this will be a new question and something new will come up. Okay, there's your handout. Did anybody, I know one person had trouble with the handout, the downloaded of the handout. Did anybody else have any issues with using the handout in their breakout rooms? Okay. Sarah, I'll send you a private message so you have some of these questions, okay?
Oh, thanks, Dhira, for taking care of that.
All right.
Don't send them off yet. I need to get her this. Okay.
Yeah. And how long is this session?
Let's do 12 minutes.
All right. Sounds good.
So you'll have 6 minutes each. So keep track of your own time and switch at 6 minutes if you haven't switched before then.
I was going to say I notice even having that agreement that it can still be triggering. And with the agreement, there's a safety in being able to say, okay, I see right now that's you're maybe not feeling open to that or whatever, blah, 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 whatever it might be, taking a step back and recognizing in that moment that it's not working. So I just want to mention that because
yeah, it's a question of timing. Just like any play invitation needs to land in a timing where there's a sense of openness to it. Yeah.
All right, let me know when you're ready.
Let's see. Dhira, can you send the questions to Carolyn S?
Yes.
And Anne, you ask any of the questions that you want, just one of them. Any of the questions that's on the handout. And feel free if the explorer, feel free to request a different question if you want. One that feels playful to you. Are we ready to go?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Oops.
Yeah, no, oops. Oh, okay. So you're right now. All right, here we go. All right. Margie had something that she shared with me in the chat that I'm going to share when there's space for sharing.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to know you're here, Margie, even though I can't see you and I can't hear you. I do feel you here.
Yep.
Yeah. Ah. Yeah, I can feel my what persona is this that's up? I have a persona up. It's a something about logistical nervousness.
Oh. Well, I have to tell you. Oh, go ahead.
It's Logistics Lulu.
Logistics Lulu.
Logistics Lulu has arrived.
Very upset about things.
He's like, is this all working? And oh, I'm so glad Dhira's good at answering these logistical questions. And let's see if I can cut to the chase and see what logistical Lulu really wants. She wants ease and flow and collaboration. She wants to lean into collaboration.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I feel so supported by you when I do that.
Aw. Yay.
Yeah.
Would you like me to interview you? Her?
Oh, sure. Yes.
Okay. I love the face.
Is there enough time?
Oh, that's perfect. So you're already in her. So tell me your name again, please.
Logistics Lulu.
Okay, Logistics Lulu. I'm wondering, what's the most important thing to you?
Making sure that works the way it's supposed to work.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And Logistics Lulu, what are you most proud of?
Well, in this moment, I'm really proud of having created the handout. That worked.
Woo! That's great. And Logistics Lulu, when did you make your first appearance?
Oh, probably in about the 4th grade. Yeah, when things got more complex, like long division and handing in reports and.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Logistics Lulu, who did you learn your style from?
I think my mom. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And logistics Lulu, what are you most afraid of?
Oh, I'm most afraid of that people will think that I'm dumb.
Mm. Mm.
I don't have it together when I should have it together.
Mm. And logistics Lulu, what do you most want?
What I most want is to be on a team where if I'm feeling dumb, I can just say that.
Yay.
Like I just went into logistics Lulu.
Yay.
And somebody else will like pick up the ball and play with me and invite me to get into my whole self again. And,
Oh, yay.
yeah.
Yay.
I want to be on a team.
On a team. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how about coming back into Kristina?
Here I am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Mm.
Yeah. Logistics Lulu. Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back. Oh, we're so curious to hear what you've discovered in your explorations with each other. So if anyone would like to share, just raise your electronic hand, which is down at the bottom under reactions. Alexandra.
Thank you. Yeah, I was with Dhira, and what was really great was for me, I started in one place and kind of morphed, like my mannerisms. Dhira had me sort of exaggerating this waviness. And so from the waviness, which had just happened as a head movement, suddenly this door opened and I was like, oh, this is like my agreeable person who's like always, la 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 la. So it's really interesting to just kind of keep unpacking and keep making the movement, and through continuing to make the movement, more little tendrils were revealed, and we got sort of a name, and now I've got a lot to consider. It's great.
What's the name that you came up with?
Agreeable Agnes.
Oh, that's great.
Right? I'm nodding. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, you're nodding. Yeah. I love it.
Love that.
When you magnify, then those body movements suddenly become like intriguing sources of information from here on.
Super interesting. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I saw your hand. Did you have something you wanted to say?
I think he was clapping.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
I have a comment from Margie, who is on the call. She doesn't have a mic. So is this an okay time for me to share?
Yeah.
Margie. Okay. So what Margie had discovered earlier when we, with the first persona interview, was that, let's see. So she got that she learned it from her cousin, and that she most wanted to be herself. And even though she doesn't see her cousin anymore, she suspects why she's always in her thoughts, or quite frequently she's in her thoughts. So that was what happened. And then during the time that we were in the breakouts, Kristina interviewed Margie, and what she discovered was her persona Stiff, who really just wants to have fun. And so what Margie discovered after that persona interview was that she tends more towards fun, work, and less on family, because there was a lot of stiffness in the family. She yearned to be free of their stiffness, which is in her, and she can start to free it now.
Oh,
That's very, very cool. Thank you, Margie, for sharing all that.
that's wonderful. I think part of what I got from all of that wonderful share is that often personas, we either like take on the role that our parents did, or we rebel against what we saw. And unfortunately, that can still feel like a trap, whether we're rebelling or taking it on, because for me, when I'm in persona, it's often either or. I can only do this or do that. I can only be them or rebel. And there's like probably a million other choices, but I can't see them when I'm in persona, because all a persona sees is generally in black and white, either or choices.
Yeah, I've noticed lately that if I'm not in flow, I'm in persona. It's like that simple and kind of startling, because there's lots of times throughout the day when I'm not in flow. So it's a fun process to start watching for and interacting with these personas. And we wanted to invite you to keep going with this. I'm going to share the screen again and go to the third page of this handout. Whoops. Which is, you're invited to a pop-up persona party. We're going to do another Big Leap Bridge call on Wednesday, June 15th, at this same time, 6 p.m. Pacific. And we're inviting people to come in persona to the call. So if you came up with a name for your persona in this last activity, that might be the one you choose to come as. And you can play around with magnifying their attitude, their body posture. They might show up in costume for this event, You can see what it would be like to improvise actually befriending this persona.
And we'll have some fun party games and some invitations and different ways to get to know your persona and explore and appreciate.
You just froze, Dhira.
Oh, did I finish what I was saying, or did I just freeze?
I don't know.
Okay. I was going to say, we will have some fun party games to play with your persona, some ways to get to know them and each other, and have a really good time.
And gosh, we've already come to the end of our hour. It was so fun playing with you, and invite you in the last minute of the call here to ask yourself this question: what do I really want from exploring persona play in my relationships? And when you have the answer to that, go ahead and make that bigger and bodify what you really want by exploring persona play in relationship. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dhira and Kristina. I'm so glad you're going to be coming back in June to play with us. I had such a fun time tonight. It looks like other people had fun. Looks like it. Yeah. So thank you so much, both of you. And we do have one more Big Leap Bridge class before that one. So just take a look at the emails and you'll see what we have coming up, and looking forward to seeing all of you again. So if you want to unmute and say goodbye, love to hear from you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everybody.
Bye.
Fun.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Sarah. Bye, Sarah.